We are letting this trailer go. We decided to sell it directly to a dealership. This is tough. I'm gonna miss this thing. Should you sell your RV to a dealership? Hi, I'm Glenn and this is Reset Your Journey. Today I want to go over some of the options of selling your RV because it's not always about listing it on RV Trader. Yes, you can list your RV on RV Trader and sell it yourself. But this video is for those of us who want a simple solution. And there are a few things you need to keep in mind before deciding whether selling it to a dealership is the right solution for you. The first step, and perhaps the most important step, is to figure out what your RV is worth. And you can figure this out by going to jdpowers.com and using their calculator to figure out the estimated value of your RV now. You're going to need that as your ammunition before you even contact a dealership. Also, break down the cost of ownership that's going to occur over the next 6 months. Let's imagine that it's going to take you 2 months to sell your RV on RV Trader. What's the depreciation amount? What does it cost to keep it in storage? What does it cost for utilities to keep it plugged in at your home? There are multiple factors that you know better than I as to whether you should sell it quickly or allow it to depreciate in your driveway and make more doing it yourself. In other words, let's weigh the future cost of ownership versus what you might lose by selling it to an RV dealership. So fire up your favorite search engine and find a dealership that's near you who will buy your RV. And their websites will generally tell you whether they will sell on consignment or outright buy your RV from you. Next, make a phone call. Your objective is to establish a rapport by having a conversation with their buyer. If it feels right, you're going to know it. If it feels kind of slimy, might not be the place for you, so don't go with your first one. If you feel good about the buyer, make an appointment and bring your rig in that way. The last thing you want to do is just show up with your RV because I assure you they're busy and without an appointment, they may not make the time to look at your RV and you just pulled it all the way there for no reason. So call and make an appointment, establish that rapport, make sure you're comfortable with them. Now generally on that first conversation, they'll give you a ballpark of what they might give for your RV. Sometimes they won't, but the one I called gave me a good ballpark. And I could tell that he was interested because we had a sought after, hard to find outdoors RV travel trailer. So if you're comfortable with their ballpark offer, then make that appointment, pull your rig there or drive your RV there and have them look it over. They're going to make an offer if they want your RV. Now, my suggestion is to never go with that first offer because generally they're going to lowball you no matter what, even if they seem like great people. They are in the business to make money. They have overhead to pay, salespeople to pay, taxes to pay. I can go down the list on that one. But keep that in mind. They're not going to give you what you could get for it on RV Trader. So if you're the type of person who really doesn't want to deal with the tire kickers, doesn't have time to show off your RV to every single person who calls or answer those questions or answer the email inquiries that come in about your RV. If you don't want to disclose potential problems or you're uncomfortable with something that might need fixing and you don't want to sell it that way, then selling it to an RV dealership might be your best option. If the dealership offers to consign your RV, seriously consider that because that might be your best option. If you're not in a hurry to sell it and you have a valuable RV, consignment is the way to go. A good dealership will tell you right up front what they think they can get as a consignment and what that's going to cost you. And they'll also give you the number that they're willing to pay you right up front when you bring your RV in, they actually inspect it. Okay, now, so what paperwork should you bring to the dealership if you're going to sell your RV to them? First of all, if your RV is paid for, then you're going to need the title. If it's not paid for, then you're going to need the lien papers on that. You should also have a pre-formatted bill of sale ready to go, and I would take 2 copies, one for the dealership and one for you. It sort of goes without saying, you probably already carry your proof of insurance, but they might need that as well. So whatever their first offer is to buy your RV, make sure you counteroffer. But seriously guys, don't be unrealistic. Like I said before, they have a business to run and you are selecting the easy option and there is a cost for the simplification of selling your RV. Okay, so here are a few suggestions based on my experience selling our RV to a dealership. If you own your RV, first and foremost, make sure you tear the bottom off of that title so that you can either mail or drop it off at motor vehicle. The last thing you want is for them to sell your RV without removing you from the registration. Make sure you push the dealership to file all the appropriate paperwork quickly. There is a form in the state of Delaware called the MV60 that removes you from registration of that vehicle, so that it actually transfers the registration to the dealership. Now, it is required in the state of Delaware to be filed within 24 hours. The dealership that I sold ours to did not file that paperwork and left me on the registration. And I failed to check with motor vehicle within the first couple weeks. And believe it or not, they had sold my RV and never removed me from registration, which makes me accountable for any accidents or violations or tolls. And yes, ultimately I could have gotten out of those violations had anything occurred, but it would be a pain. And that is something that I didn't have control of. So if you sell your RV to a dealership, make sure they file the appropriate paperwork to remove you from registration within 24 hours. Do yourself a favor and follow up with motor vehicle a few days later to make sure the paperwork was filed. Sometimes that can be done online, or you can make a phone call. It's worth the effort. I know it's a pain, but it's still worth the effort. One last suggestion, make sure you cancel your insurance the day after you sell it. If you don't want to sell your RV directly to a dealership or consign it with them, you have a few other options. You can use RV Trader or websites like RV Trader to sell it yourself and list it. Yes, this comes with a cost, and you can usually make more money this way, and it is more work, but it could be worth your while. I know that Good Sam's has a program where they will also arrange the purchase of your RV. Cars.com also has an RV section where they may buy your RV from you if it has value. If you choose to sell your RV yourself, I think one of the best options would be to list it on a Facebook page that is specific for your type of RV. This way you're in front of a captive audience who either already has that type of RV or who is interested in owning an RV like that. By putting yourself in front of a group who is already looking for that type of RV, you've established solid leads who are not tire kickers. I hope by sharing my experience, I was able to help you in making a decision as to whether you should sell your RV to a dealership or sell it yourself. Thanks again so much for watching. I'm Glenn, and this is Reset Your Journey. I wish you well.